Recording in progress.
All right, so now we have it set to where we're going to have our class on recording, and then if there's any reason why y'all want to go back and revisit class, maybe there's a certain part of class you want to hear again, or maybe you missed class and you don't want to get behind, which I will never let you get behind, so you don't have to worry about that. But maybe you just don't want to miss anything, but something came up. Maybe you had a doctor's appointment. Maybe somebody came by your house for a visit, and you didn't want to be rude and say, yeah, can you go away because I have class? You know, things come up, but you don't want to miss. And so I record it and upload it to YouTube. I told you I would show you what that looks like, and I will. But let's just get us some Tai Chi up under our belt before we do that. I'm opening and closing my hands, pumping my arms. I'm walking forwards and backwards just to stay in the video. But you can walk in place. I mean, the whole point is just to get your body warmed up. Keep in mind that this time of year, whenever it's cold outside, your body reflects the temperature in the environment. So you might have to work a little bit extra to get your muscles warmed up. When our muscles are cold, they're extra stiff, which I'm not telling y'all anything you don't already know because you probably experience it. I do the same thing. It's cold outside, and you know, I'm kind of extra tense and tight and stiff, and it takes a little extra effort to get warmed up. So these movements that we do, starting with our neck, we do all of our major joints, our neck, shoulders, spine, hips, knees, and ankles. All of our major joints, we have movements that help get those warmed up. And those are warm-ups that you could do every single day. So you don't have to just wait or only do them and then do Tai Chi. You can use these exercises for that. I have sent... Wait, I don't think I sent anybody in this class. Did any of y'all tell me y'all needed one of these? Miss Annie, did you tell me you needed one? Or did I even talk about them?
Well, you didn't talk about you didn't talk about that. I need some for our friends.
Okay. Well, I will. This right here is our handbook, and it has the pictures of all of our movements and warm-ups and our movements, and then also information that is specific to falls. Now, the program that we do, there's information in the front that's specific to arthritis, and I think they put the falls prevention in the back. Yeah, the falls prevention stuff is in the back because it was an addition to this booklet. So this is handy. This is what this program is all about. I'm going to make myself a note to send the booklet to you. I was getting ready to say I put them in the mail, and then I thought, wait a minute, that wasn't this class that I sent those to.
Yeah. Wasn't this class?
Sometimes in the morning I say one thing, and in the afternoon I don't say the same thing because I'm not a script person, and so eventually I'll get to all the information. But I know that first week we were having trouble with the video and audio, and last week was kind of our first week together. So we'll get there, no worries. I will not leave y'all out, I promise. So let's get in our stable stance, and by that we mean putting our feet at about hip width apart. I'm a little bit wider than that. I feel most comfortable there. I have a little bend in my knee, and I'm just kind of scanning through my body to make sure I'm not holding any tension anywhere. The past few days I've been holding a lot of tension in my jaw, and I think one of the reasons is I was watching this scary movie. It was called like Women in Cabin 10 or something. I read the book, and the book was a little scary, I guess, but nothing like the movie. I guess that's the difference between my imagination and the person who did the movie's imagination in interpreting the book. But I think I held my jaw really tense watching that movie, and it's just a little bit like sore from it. Notice tension. I don't watch a lot of scary stuff, but I thought, oh, I've read this book, I'll watch this movie. So notice the tension and let it go. And it may change for different reasons, that being mine. But go through, do a body scan, find any tension you're holding, and let that go. So we're going to start with our neck. Well, I'm going to start with giving us some good relaxing music, because that music sets the tone for everything, and it helps us relax and be in Tai Chi mode when we have our Tai Chi music. Alright, so from our stable stance, our hands are to our waist, our sides. We're going to start with our neck, bringing our hands up, palms down. Turn, I'm going to come a little closer to camera. Pull them towards our chin and chest. Turn and push them away from our bodies, and then follow those hands all the way down, chin towards our chest. Feeling a slight stretch in the back of our neck. Hopefully you feel a slight stretch. It's nothing painful. Don't force anything. You don't have to touch your chin to your neck. Just go in that direction. Also, don't forget to breathe. I typically like to inhale as we come up, and then when I get ready, exhale. Just listen to your body when you need to take a breath, and it's different for everybody. Our other neck exercise starts out that same way. Then we put one hand to our hip, and then we follow this hand as we go towards our shoulder. Come back to front and switch. Helps relieve tension that we have in our neck, which can help relieve ourselves of headaches we get. And that's just from tension. Continue to breathe as you go side to side. If you can, inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth through pursed lips. Or you can inhale through your nose or exhale through your nose as well, if you feel more comfortable. But do your best to inhale and breathe through your nose. And that helps filter the air before the air gets into your lungs. Let's rotate our shoulders. We always go forward first, which may feel a little bit awkward to go forward. And then we go back, and that probably feels a little more natural. My collar's cracking me up. One side wants to stick up, and the other wants to lay flat. One side wants to be Elvis, doesn't it? So think circles the size of a quarter as you rotate your shoulders. And if it's a little bigger than that, it's no big deal. But if you're thinking small, you'll go smaller than you would if you were just thinking rotate your shoulders. Continuing to breathe. Let's bring our hands up, palms up. turn and push down in front of us. Inhale as you come up and exhale as you come down. So this is a great way to practice our breath. Let your breath guide the pace of your hands. Because like I said, all of our lungs are different. So your inhale may be shorter or longer than mine, and your exhale may be shorter or longer than mine. So you might go a little bit slower than me in this movement. But I really like the thought of inhaling as I bring that up and then exhaling as I push those hands down. It's just the perfect movement to practice breath. You can do this from a seated position and just sit, and then because of the circular motion of your arms and hands, it's relaxing and it feels like Tai Chi. It feels more like Tai Chi than if you were to just have your hands in your lap breathing. This can be like meditation and movement. And when you have meditation with movement or in movement, then your brain doesn't wander as much. And that sometimes is hard when you're trying to relax and just meditate on, it just could be a couple words. Calm. Breathing in calm, exhaling stress. It could be one word, it could be two words. You've heard of people saying that word It's not even a word, maybe a word to somebody. But let me tell you about Alright, if you will or can, do that sound, O-M, Do you feel your lips tickle or your throat tickle a little bit? That's vibration from that sound, that And when you make that sound, or when you just hum, like you could hum the song Amazing Grace. Right? You hear that? It probably wasn't on a key, so if don't worry if it wasn't on key. That's not the point. The point is humming is relaxing to your nervous system. So if you ever if you're ever stressed, or if you find yourself worked up, if your blood pressure is kind of getting away from you, if you're worrying about something, hum, and it'll calm you down. The vibration calms your nervous system down. So, insert fun fact in Tai Chi class today about humming. You can hum anything. You don't have to use the word I was just telling you, a lot of people who meditate use that word. They'll hold their hands and that tickle, that humming is very good for your nervous system. Alright, so that's for our shoulders. Now let's go to our spine. And this is where we hold our ball. And we're going to separate. We're going to push one hand up and one hand down. And this separates the heavens and the earth, if we want to be dramatic. But really we're stretching that spine. So as we push up and down at the same time, think about your spine stretching. I think about all the little bones, all the little vertebrae in my spine and how they settle like an old house. And this just gives them some space to breathe as we stretch that spine. As we put our hand up and the other hand down. We keep that soft bend in our arm, and that allows us to have an open joint, which helps energy flow in our body. So we don't lock our elbows. We do our best to not lock any joints. We keep them soft. Also, we're continuing to breathe. So when we come to our ball, that's when I like to inhale. And then when I separate and push, that's when I like to exhale. And I feel like my stretch is better when I exhale on the separate. Inhale on the gather. That makes me feel like I'm gathering good in that inhale, and then pushing and letting that go. And again, this is for our spine. So this stretches our spine vertically. Now we're going to take this ball and go side to side and warm up that spine horizontally. So side to side. We're going on just a short trip. Slowly switching our hands and going to the other side. So I can physically go further than this, but I don't want to stretch my spine. I don't want to hurt my knee by going too far. We're just slightly and slowly warming up this spine. So always remember in Tai Chi class, smaller is better. We go slow. We don't try to do too much. There's beauty in that. It's hard for us to make that shift from the real world, but welcome it, because that real world is rough. So let's slow down and move small. Alright, so those are our upper body exercises. The 2 for our neck, 2 for our shoulders, and 2 for our spine. Those are the ones that can very easily be done seated. Because you see, our legs were holding our bodies, but we weren't transferring weight or doing any kind of movement with our feet and legs. And so if you have a hard time with endurance, or standing up and staying standing for a long time, then you might want to start our warm-ups from a seated position and then stand up at this point if you can stand up and do a little bit of standing work. Now, if it's if it's worrisome for you, you're not sure, I don't know if I'm going to fall, I don't know if I have a good balance, then have a chair nearby. This table is not going anywhere. This wall is not going anywhere. So have something nearby that you can either, know it's going to be there if you need to put your hand on it, or if you just need to start off holding on to it and skipping the upper body movements of our lower body warm-up moves. So you have some choices there based on your needs. And your need may change from week to week. This week you may be able and have no problems with balance. And next week you may have a head cold. And next week you may be a little bit dizzy and it may affect you. And so you might need a little extra assistance. For whatever reason, you may have an injury on your foot one week and you have to do everything seated. So just because you can do it this week, you may have a different need next week. And know that this program is modifiable for you. So if there's ever a way where you're thinking, well, I need to modify, but I don't know how, just let me know and I can help walk you through that. I try to teach y'all the different options. I'm not always really good about teaching seated because you are standing, so sometimes I forget. So y'all just let me know what your needs are. So For our hips, these are our next two. This is where we start doing some weight transfer. Now, I will say weight transfer is where magic happens in terms of getting our leg muscles strong. Because we know that if we can hold our weight on one leg, then we're pretty balanced. We're pretty strong. We're less likely to fall. And we shift weight to one leg and do that, even though we just do it in little bitty spurts. But in Tai Chi, that's what we do with our weight transfer, is we shift weight to one leg and do something else with this other leg, and then shift weight to the other leg and do that same something with this leg. Like I said, we have hand movements, but skip the hand movement if your need is to hold on to something. If there's a way for you to still do transfer weight, even if you don't lift the foot off the floor, if there's just a way to shift weight to one leg, even if this other foot is still on the floor, do that. We want you to experience weight on one leg. So that's what we're going to do first off, is shift weight to one leg. We're going to take our other foot and place our heel out. When we place our heel out, our hands are going to go back. We're standing upright, we're not leaning, but this is a counterbalance as well as a cross-lateral movement. Then we're going to come back to center, and then we're going to put our toe back, and you see it's at an angle, and our hands forward. So it looks like this from the side. I'm still upright, my hands are out. It's important for you to think about that foot being back and at an angle instead of straight back. Because straight back would be as if your feet were right beside each other, and that's not very balanced. So by taking it back and at an angle, it's like a kickstand on a bike. So it's like standing at hip width or a little wider than hip width. So that is that's a wider stance, and that's more stable to hold your foot like that. So we shift weight to the other leg, place the heel out forward, our hands back, pause in the middle, and toe back, hands forward. And so we typically do that 3 times. So let's do it another time. Pause, and we'll go back to the other foot. You can go back and forth. That's definitely one way of doing it. Or you can do 3 on one side and then switch to the other. One has more endurance. One has more practice with weight shift. So neither are wrong. You just pick one. I typically do this one to practice endurance. We get a lot of practice with weight transfer in our Tai Chi. So you see, that is definitely where our balance is very tested when we start putting weight on one leg. Now we're going to do another warm-up for our hips where we shift weight to the side to one leg, and then the other leg we're going to tap out and then bring back in. Then we're going to shift the weight and then tap the other foot out. What do we do with our hands? Well, we stack our hands kind of like this, and we're going to go in the direction of the weight shift, and we're going to stop at the frame of our bodies. So we're shifting the weight, and then we tap that foot out, bring it back, and then switch our hands. Notice my body stays upright. I don't lean with the movement. I stay upright. Switch my hands, shift the weight, and tap out. So these are our lower body warm-up movements for our hips. So you see, this is a more challenging space. Slow down. I felt myself getting a little bit fast there. That's part of body awareness and noticing the pace of my movement. And I think sometimes we think about fear of falling and we get in a hurry to hurry up and shift that weight because it takes a lot of balance to go slow. Just be aware of it and do your best to go slow, smooth, and continuous. And that's in the movement control part of our principles. Alright, so that was for our hips. Any questions about those movements? Because I know we get a little more complicated here. Alright, y'all just let me know if I'm not clear on anything. Next is for our knees. We have loose fist, as if we were holding an egg we didn't want to break. Down here by our hips, we're going to do some more weight transfer. So I'm going to shift weight to one leg. I'm going to lift this other foot and I'm going to tap the toe out in front and punch the opposite hand. Bring it back. Shift the weight. Lift. Tap and punch. Again, no leaning. I'm staying upright. Remember, upright posture is in our body structure principle. Because if we remain upright, we are less likely to fall. So we want to practice good posture for that reason. So not just in Tai Chi class, but always practicing that upright posture. So I'm keeping my foot really low to the ground. I can tap my toe up higher into the air, pretending I'm tapping on top of a cup that's sitting on the floor. I don't recommend tapping on an actual cup because it could be a fall hazard. And you'll be working too hard to tap the actual cup than is necessary. So it's an imaginary cup. That's one knee warm up. The other one, we're going to step out, step forward. So I shift weight to one leg. I step forward. It's a really small step. I'm going to give a little bit of weight to that front foot. I'm going to keep both feet flat on the floor. And as I shift the weight to that front foot, I'm going to punch the opposite hand out. So I come back, feet side by side, shift, step, shift and punch, bring it back. I love this movement because we're doing so much weight shifting side to side and front and back. So yes, weight transfer is a principle. Weight transfer we do all the way through our Tai Chi, but I truly believe that weight transfer is where magic happens with our muscles and getting them strong and able. And we know it's a challenge. We can set ourselves up for success by having good posture and body awareness. Just really paying attention to the way we feel as we shift the weight. Being conscious of keeping our steps really small. You know, we're not putting our foot way out forward. It's just a small little step out to give us that practice with spacing, stepping, weight transfer, so that when we do it in our Tai Chi moves, then we're more successful because we have better awareness of how big and small our steps are. We want to feel safe in our movement. Alright, so those are for our knees. Now when it comes to challenging ourselves those hip movements and those knee movements are the most challenging. And it's because of that weight transfer. It's also because we have hand and foot stuff happening at the same time. And that really challenges our brain, which is a good thing, but those 4 movements are the most challenging, and that's why. Our last one is for our ankles. Now, there aren't any hand movements for ankles, so if you want to hold on to something or if you want to just have your hands together in front of you, we do have a weight shift, and then we heel, toe, heel, toe. So we're rocking that foot and warming up that heel joint. Bring that foot back, shift weight, and do that to the other foot. Heel, toe, heel, toe. It's always nice to get to our ankle warm up because we're like, oh yeah, this is easy. I like this one. And this is our last one before we do our Tai Chi movements. Well, no, this isn't the last one, but our ankles are. Now let's do our last ankle movement, and that's shift the weight, and now big toe, little toe. So this is a little more awkward of a movement, going side to side with our foot. But that ankle joint is a ball and socket joint, and it moves in a circle. If you're seated, you can move this ankle a little differently, but standing, we do heel toe, and then we do big toe, little toe. We go side to side. And you may feel that your ankle is kind of stiff today. And the more you do these exercises, warming up your joints, you may feel less and less stiffness. All right, so those are our warm-ups. So we have been through all of the warm-ups of our major joints. So I want to take this time to pause our music, and I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to share this. This is my YouTube page. This is what this looks like. Now, if you go to just regular YouTube, like www.youtube.com, or if you have the YouTube app on your device, when you open it up, it'll look something similar to this. And if you go into the search bar and you type in SOWEGA Jennifer Crosby, you see I've done this before. So SOWEGA is Southwest Georgia, and then Jennifer Crosby is me. So I do this to help filter and find me easier. Once you find me, you can follow me, or oh gosh, what's it called? I think it's called follow me. But when you get on my page, see, this was this morning. This was this morning's class. But whenever you type in SOWEGA Jennifer Crosby, you see I was the first thing that came up. That's why it's easier to type in SOWEGA Jennifer Crosby. And so right here is today's video, SOWEGA January 20th, 8. That's my AM class. And you see up under here it says Jennifer Crosby. If you click on that, it takes you to my page. And so this is what my page looks like. I'm going to move us over here. And it tells you, this is home. This is where you, subscribe. That's what it's called. You can subscribe to my channel. I can't subscribe to my own channel, but I assume it's done something somewhere up here. On the home page, it will bring up the most recent videos that I think were played. And if you scroll down, you can see where it says videos, and then there's, me. here you can click on this. This is a tab. It's called videos. You click on videos and there's all those videos, right? So if there's a certain class that you want to go to, for instance, last week was January the 13th, p.m. Your class is always going to be p.m. My a.m. class is, guess what, in the morning. They're basically the same class. But this, I didn't do this in this morning's class because everybody in my morning class aren't new. They've seen this before. And so here you can click on last week's class. You see 9 views. 9 people have watched that again. And so you can go to that class and it'll come up and I'll just click on it.
I am reading in progress.
I'm excited to start this class.
I need you to, good God, she's loud. Whew. Hers needs a volume button. I do not like to listen to myself talk. All right, so I regress. That's how you find the whatever certain date. It'll say SOWEGA, whatever date class was, in AM or PM. If you see these classes that say exploring, that's my Friday class, and that's an advanced class. If you feel flossy and you want to watch that and follow along, I think that's wonderful. You might just want to watch and see what we do on Fridays. All right, ma'am.
Repeat that. How do you see that?
From my home page, if you go to videos, so like if you open up my home page, it has here. I mean, from home, and it just has videos. I mean, you can scroll down. It gives you little information, but if you go to videos, you can scroll down and see all of my classes that have ever been on here. I mean, there are 323 videos on here.
And how do you just check the date for the time?
Yeah, whatever class you had. This is if you missed class or if you want to re-watch class. When I record class, I record it to upload it here for y'all's use. Something that y'all can use that may be helpful is under this right here that says playlists. Okay, so this is from my the main page. It has these tabs. You push playlist, and there's one that says Wellness at Last, and I'm probably going to delete that. But this one right here is what's most important, is this Tai Chi one. Okay? So here I see View Full Playlist. And when I click on that, it has 29 videos. This has all kinds of different tutorial videos. You see, this one is 3 minutes. This one is 9 minutes, 13 minutes. They're shorter videos than what class is. And the purpose of these is to help you practice certain moves. So today we did a spinal warm-up, right? And that's 2 different ones. That's the one where there's the ball and we separate and we push and we come to the ball. Then we go side to side. So those are our 2 spinal warm-ups. And this right here is a video that is only about spinal warm-ups. In 7 minutes, all about spinal warm-ups. You can go through and there's videos for all of the movements, all of the warm-ups, each of the Tai Chi series of movements. So when we start learning, we can start learning it today. We have time. But commencement right here, commencement, this is an 8-minute video. So we can start learning that today. And then if tomorrow you think, I want to practice commencement, you can come to this YouTube page, go to the playlist, Tai Chi, and then scroll down till you see commencement. So I made these for y'all to have tutorials so that y'all can have a resource to use when we don't have class. You don't ever have to use them, but they're here. Some of these videos are old. See, this one's 4 years old. If you get on here and you watch this video, because please don't make me watch myself. If you get on here and you're like, I want to practice commencement, and so you get on that video and you say, well, that video is different than the way you talked about it in class, or maybe you can give me some feedback on how to improve. I'm happy to do new videos. I think these videos are good. But I know in 4 years I've changed as a teacher. I hope I've gotten better as a teacher than I was 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I had never done this before. On YouTube, on virtual, I'd never taught like this before. So I've learned a lot. So if you get on there and you say, I think you can do better, I challenge you, Jennifer, to do better. But let me know. But if nobody uses them, I don't want to spend my time to remake it if it's not being used, if it's all right the way it is. So just let me know. Let me know if you have any problems finding something. Last week, I told you my phone number and email. Feel free to call me outside of class. I stay pretty busy, but I will make time to give you a call back. So don't feel like you're bothering me. Don't feel like you have to wait until the next class to contact me. I try to be available, email or phone call, in a reasonable amount of time. But that is what is here for you. Okay? So going all the way back to my home page, that's where it opens up once you search SOWEGA Jennifer Crosby and click on that Jennifer Crosby. It has a list of videos. From the home page, you can scroll down and find the playlist of Tai Chi. So there's other ways to get to the same information. Yours may look a little different than this because from this page is where you see where it says manage videos. Yours isn't going to say manage videos because you're not messing with my page. I just can't show it to you any other way. Do y'all have any questions about this? Y'all just let me know if y'all need anything, but I told y'all that I would show you my YouTube page and how it works. But I will stop share, and then y'all let me know what you need from here. So I know for sure next week that we'll dive more into our first two moves of commencement and open and close. But what I want to say about our first move is that it is a step forward. Now, we talked about weight transfer. In our first move of commencement, we are going to shift weight to our right foot. We're going to place our left foot forward. We're going to shift our weight to our left foot and then bring our right foot forward. Okay? So, notice I said place that foot. So, step forward where we shift our weight to our right foot. We place our left foot out. That's an empty step. We don't immediately give weight to a foot when we step it, but then we do give it weight. And then we bring that right foot forward. Okay? So, easy enough, right? We're just taking a step forward that's led by our right foot. In our second move of open and close, there's no footwork. You just stand there with our feet shoulder width apart. That's comforting, right? That seems doable. We can step forward. We can shift weight to one foot. We can place one foot out in front, then give it weight, and then bring the other foot beside it. Hand work. Our hands start to our sides. Our hands are going to face each other the whole time. So we're going to bring our hands up and out from our bodies. So what I mean by that is that we're not bringing them up at our bodies. We're out away from our bodies. Also, we have this soft bend in our elbow. So I'm not out, locked elbow like Frankenstein. I'm soft. So my hands come up and out and soft. And I don't go any higher than this shoulder, and then I go back down. And when I get back about to my hips, I bring it in. Then I go up my body. And then I go out. And then I go back in. All right, so we're here, up, down, in, up, out, back in. Dr. Lamb's story about the ball. Look at my ball. It's so pretty. Don't you want to play with it? No, they don't want to play with it. So you bring it back to you. But you want to give them one more chance. So you take it out. Nope, they still don't want to play with it. So that's another way to remember it. Up, down, in, up, out, back in. And then we do open and close. So open and close is our second move, and it's just that easy. Open and close. Those are the pieces and parts of our first two moves of commencement and open and close. To put those together, it looks like this, and I'm going to do mirror image where I come up, down, step, in, up, shift as they go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open, and close. So we're going to break that down more and practice it more next week when we have more time. But that gives you an introduction to those first two movements. Any questions? All right, let's cool down by giving ourselves a little fist massage. Telling our legs, thank you for working so hard. I think they work extra hard when we're very first learning because we're a little bit nervous. If we've never transferred weight before, we're a little bit leery of, can our legs do it? Are they going to be okay? Are we going to be able to stay balanced? And so they work a little extra hard, so they're probably a little extra tired. So no worries if you get sore. That's normal. Now let's gather tension and then let it go. We don't want to live with tension. So purposely gather tension and then intentionally let it go. Feels so much better to be without tension and release. Gather and release. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And then we take our right fist, a loose fist. We're still holding that egg that we don't want to break. That represents our strength. Our left fingers all together represents our friendship. Our thumb in represents our humility, which reminds us that we have always something to learn. And we put that together, and in mutual respect, we say namaste. Oh, namaste. We're in this together, y'all. And I'm glad that we're here together. We'll do it again next week. But like I said, y'all let me know if y'all need anything in the meantime. Whether it be about the YouTube channel or anything else.
I need to say that I screamed and all food, and I couldn't really frozen.
Okay.
And then it was, I don't know if you know, cut off and then
Yes. I did notice that, Miss Nora, and I have let Clarice know that you're having issues and that you're with SOWEGA, and they'll be able to look your phone number up with with the Clarice, and they'll give you a call. And just like Sharita said, they call and they help you troubleshoot it if possible over the phone, and get you fixed up.
All right.
All right, and you just let them know all the problems. So just start taking notes, and then when they do call, say, "All right, I got a list for you. Let's go over them." And because we pay them for those tablets. We pay for that service. Just because you don't have $1 in it doesn't mean it's not being paid for. So we're the customer, and we want to be 100% happy. Okay. So just because it doesn't cost you money doesn't mean you have to put up with subpar product. I stand on that, girl. All right. Well, y'all let me know if you need me. I hope y'all have a great week. Stay warm. I love you.
Love you.
All right. All right. Bye-bye.